I already got you. Don't turn now.
Witnesses say they watched as Destiny Virgin frantically exited a car and ran down Macon Road, screaming while narrowly missing oncoming traffic. That's when witnesses say the suspect, Markel Irvin, got out of a car. He was recklessly following the victim in, shot her multiple times, then sped off.
This is the story of Destiny Virgin, a bright and ambitious 18-year-old who dreamed of serving her country. Destiny's future was full of promise until her life intersected with a deadly force. She was in an on-again, off-again relationship with Markel Irvin, a young man whose obsession would lead to unspeakable violence. On a September evening in 2018, Destiny desperately ran through traffic on Macon Road, crying out for help as Markel chased her with a gun. Witnesses watched in horror as her cries were silenced by gunfire. What drove Markel Irvin to murder the woman he claimed to love? And could this tragedy have been prevented? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Columbus, Georgia, city located along the Chattahoochee River. Known for its military history tied to nearby Fort Benning, Columbus combines a sense of tradition with modern amenities. It is a place where families thrive, students excel, and a close-knit community supports its members. Amid its bustling streets and scenic river walk, this story unfolds, a story of dreams, family, and heartbreak. Destiny Shante Virgin was an 18-year-old with an undeniable drive and a bright future. Born in Fort Benning, Georgia, and later a proud graduate of George Washington Carver High School in 2018, Destiny was known for her excellence both inside and outside the classroom. She shone as a track star and was deeply committed to the junior ROTC program. Destiny's leadership skills and dedication stood out, earning her the respect of her peers and teachers. With aspirations of becoming a medical assistant, she had taken the first steps toward her dream by enrolling in the First Step program, preparing for a career that would allow her to help others. Destiny Virgin had a tumultuous and dangerous relationship with Markel Irvin. Markel was then a 17-year-old Carver High School dropout. The two dated during their teenage years, but their relationship was marked by repeated instances of abuse, control, and violence. According to her mother, Destiny was a victim of Markel's toxic and escalating behavior. Earlier in April 2018, Markel kidnapped Destiny and held her against her will for 48 hours. He was charged with kidnapping, false imprisonment, and assault after that incident. Despite the severity of these charges, Markel was released on a $50,000 bond on May 30, 2018. This decision by the justice system, criticized heavily by Destiny's family. No one ever imagined that this decision would become fatal for Destiny's life. On September 22, 2018, Destiny was traveling in her car, a silver Nissan Maxima. Around 7 p.m., Destiny leapt from her car at the red light on Macon Road. Witnesses reported seeing her leap from the car, screaming for help, and running through traffic, desperately trying to open other car doors to find some refuge. Markel pursued her with a 9mm pistol. Eyewitnesses described the chilling moment when Markel caught up to Destiny in the street and shot her multiple times. He then returned to her car and fled the scene. Destiny was rushed to Piedmont Columbus Regional Midtown Campus Hospital, where she was pronounced dead at 7:45 p.m. Markel fled Columbus after the shooting, driving Destiny's car to nearby Harris County. There, he abandoned the car and fled into the woods when confronted by sheriff's deputies. He was apprehended the following morning, on September 23, 2018. Evidence collected at the scene included footprints in red clay matching Markel's shoes and Destiny's credit card found in his possession. Witnesses also provided clear descriptions of Markel's actions, and one witness identified him from a Facebook profile where he used the nickname Cricket.
This is the scene where the incident happened, heavily traveled area on Macon Road. And the victim, Destiny Virgin, she'll be shot multiple times in broad daylight. Family members say by who was once her boyfriend, and the question many people in the community asking why this young woman wasn't protected. Again, Irvin was arrested on Sunday morning, and according to court records, he was in court earlier this year for allegedly kidnapping and attacking the then 17-year-old Destiny Virgin. Now, Outley, a local advocate and president of the sive organization here in Columbus standing against violence education, says the system failed this young woman.
But I do believe that somebody or something fell through the crack on this on this case, and the city want to know what happened, what failed this family, that now they'll be burying their 18-year-old daughter, which is heartless and senseless yet again in our city.
And Irvin would reportedly spend less than 24 hours in jail back in April at the time of his arrest. So we're learning reasons why and what happened when he bounded out of jail. And the reason could be there is a rapid resolution program in the city of Columbus meant to get people out of jail much quicker and tackle jail overcrowding.
Destiny's mother, Michelle Virgin, was heartbroken, describing the murder as something no mother should ever endure. She shared how she had tried to protect her daughter from her abusive ex-boyfriend, Markale Irvin, and how her warnings about the toxic relationship went unheeded by the justice system. Michelle revealed how helpless she felt watching surveillance video of her daughter being chased and killed, saying, "He murdered my baby like she was an animal." Her grief was compounded by the knowledge that Markale had been released on bail months earlier, despite facing charges for kidnapping and assaulting Destiny. Michelle called the justice system's failure to protect her daughter a betrayal, stating, "We went to court, did the proper protocols, and begged the judge for help."
The teen charged in a fatal weekend shooting of his ex-girlfriend, 18-year-old Destiny Virgin, made his first appearance before a judge today.
Well, after my client had made bond, I haven't talked to him recently, so obviously it was a surprise to me that they had in each other's company.
It was a court order from a judge following a previous kidnapping charge in April. 17-year-old Markale Irvin ordered to have no contact with his then girlfriend, Destiny Virgin. But 5 months later, Irvin entering a Columbus courtroom yet again with a much more serious charge, now accused of the death of his ex-girlfriend, 18-year-old Destiny Virgin.
The only thing I really have to say right now is still early in the investigation, so it's probably really a little bit too early to give any other comments on the case so far.
Too early for Irvin's defense attorney, but Columbus police say the case speaks for itself. Over a dozen witnesses coming forward, willingly speaking to police. According to court testimony, witnesses say they watched as Destiny Virgin frantically exited a car and ran down Macon Road, screaming while narrowly missing oncoming traffic. That's when witnesses say the suspect, Markale Irvin, got out of a car. He was recklessly following the victim in, shot her multiple times, then sped off. In response to community reaction, who say the system failed this young woman, Irvin's defense attorney says the case is far from over.
Destiny's grandmother, Felicia Virgin, also spoke emotionally during court proceedings. She described how Markale had stalked, threatened, and abused Destiny before ultimately taking her life. Felicia recounted how Markale's family obstructed their attempts to locate Destiny during prior incidents of violence. She passionately called on the court to impose the harshest sentence possible, emphasizing that Markale did not deserve a second chance. Destiny's friends expressed both grief and guilt after her death. Jasmine Grimes, one of her close friends, reflected on the day Destiny died, admitting she had seen Markale with a gun on Instagram, but never thought it would lead to such a devastating outcome. Jasmine's heartbreak highlighted the ripple effect Destiny's murder had on those who cared for her. The case took over 2.5 years to reach trial, with delays exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the course of 2.5 years, Michelle Virgin became an outspoken advocate for domestic violence awareness. She attended every court hearing, whether virtual or in person, to ensure that her daughter's story was heard. Michelle described her determination to remind District Attorney Mark Jones and others in the legal system that Destiny was more than just a case file. She texted photos of Destiny to prosecutors to personalize the fight for justice, emphasizing that her daughter was a vibrant young woman with a promising future, not just another statistic. Michelle's frustration grew during the pandemic when court proceedings were delayed. The long wait for justice felt unbearable as she had to repeatedly relive the trauma while the legal process stalled. She remarked, "Families are still grieving and waiting for justice. How long do we have to wait?" On May 10, 2021, Markale pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including malice murder and kidnapping. Judge William C. Rumer sentenced him to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. An additional 5-year sentence was added for other charges, to be served consecutively, making his total minimum sentence 35 years. Destiny's family felt conflicted after the plea deal. Although they were relieved to see him face consequences, the possibility of parole after 30 years left them unsettled.
I'm not going to say I'm exactly pleased, but I am glad that she received some type of justice. What's going to be hovering over me is that in 30 years, well 35 years, I'm going to have to go up for parole if I'm here to to make it to be able to stand up for my child. And again, no one's gonna fight for her like me. But I will be going to every parole hearing, and I will be making sure that he stays behind bars.
Felicia Virgin reminded the court that Destiny's life was cut short in the most horrific way possible, and that Markale's release in 30 years would mean he could potentially harm someone else. In the wake of Destiny's death, Michelle Virgin dedicated herself to raising awareness about domestic violence. She hoped her daughter's story would inspire others in toxic relationships to leave before it's too late. She said, "Love doesn't hurt. If they're putting their hands on you, they don't love you. You can't change them. Each situation gets worse, and you need to get out before it's too late." The family's advocacy efforts went beyond seeking justice for Destiny. They also aimed to reform the justice system to better protect victims of domestic violence. Michelle specifically criticized laws that allowed perpetrators like Markale to be released on bail or remove ankle monitors without immediate consequences, warning that these failures led directly to tragedies like Destiny's. Though justice was served in the form of a life sentence with a minimum of 35 years, the Virgin family's pain is ongoing. They are haunted by the knowledge that Markale could eventually walk free, while Destiny's life, full of potential, was permanently stolen. The family takes solace in their advocacy work, hoping to prevent future tragedies and honor Destiny's memory by helping others escape abusive situations. What happened to Destiny Virgin should never have occurred. Her tragic death was a result of an abusive relationship that escalated to violence, despite repeated warnings and efforts to seek help. The justice system failed to protect her, as her abuser, Markale Irvin, was allowed to remain free after multiple incidents of violence, including kidnapping and assault. This failure to take her concerns seriously and provide adequate protection made the situation even more dangerous, leading to her untimely death. My condolences to Destiny's friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.